Oh, no.
What's that?
Good evening, and welcome to this evening's meeting of the Board of Education. As we begin the school year, we would like to congratulate Ralph Morales and Cherie Jones and Dawn Nuisi as they begin their service as Board of Education trustees. Ms. Jones was sworn in as a trustee on the evening of May 16th, 2023. Mr. Morales was sworn in on Monday, July 1st. He's not present this evening. This evening's meeting will begin with the organization of the school district's business function. Please know that the Board of Ed is interested in encouraging members of the public to share their ideas, comments, and questions. You may send your questions and feedback to us through the email account boe@farmingdaleschools.org. Questions will be provided to Central Administration and the Board of Ed for response. Public participation opportunities will be included at the beginning of the 8 p.m. meeting, and we thank you for your anticipated courtesy and cooperation. In the event of a fire, or if you hear the fire bells, you must leave the building. Please use the exit in the back of the room, and would we all please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mrs. Luisi, will you stand to take the oath of office, please?
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me.
Gotta get center stage.
I'm a little camera shy. I state your name.
I, Dawn Luisi,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States
and the state of New York
and the state of New York
to the best of my ability
to the best of my ability
in my role as board trustee,
in my role as board trustee,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
those duties
those duties
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mr. Defendini, it's your turn.
All right. I state your name.
I, Paul Defendini,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States
and the state of New York,
and the state of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the superintendent of schools
the duties of the superintendent of schools
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
May I have nominations for President of the Board of Education?
I make a motion to nominate Ralph Vincent Morales as President of the Board of Education for the 2023-2024 school year.
Is there a second? Are there any other nominations? Okay, nominations being closed. All those in favor of Ralph Vincent Morales as president, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Mr. Morales is duly elected president once again this year. May I have nominations for vice president, please?
Yes. Make a motion to nominate Suzanne D'Amico as Vice President of the Board of Education for the 2023-24 school year.
Do I have a second? Are there any other nominations for vice president? No, okay. There being no further nominations, all those in favor for Suzanne D'Amico for vice president, please say aye.
Aye.
Congratulations, Mrs. D'Amico. If you could stand up, please, to be sworn in as vice president. And we will swear in Mr. Morales when he returns.
I state your name.
I, Suzanne D'Amico,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States
that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States
and the state of New York,
and the state of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of board vice president
the duties of board vice president
to the best of my
to
ability.
the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Mrs. D'Amico, the meeting is now yours.
Sorry. Thank you, Mrs. Rogers. The Board of Education will now act on a series of resolutions which are necessary to begin the work in the 2023-2024 school year. Resolutions include the appointment of specific positions, business contracts, audit functions, and insurance and legal firms. I do. Mrs. Lively, will you begin the resolution to appoint the district clerk?
Yes. Thank you. I make a motion to appoint Mary E. Rogers as District Clerk for the 2023-24 school year at the annual salary of $25,395.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Yeah. I make a motion to appoint Patricia Solano as Assistant District Clerk for the 2023-2024 school year with a stipend of $314.51 per meeting.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Pause me. No, you're going that way.
I make a motion for Theodore Campbell to be appointed as treasurer for the 2023-2024 school year, and that he be authorized to be the signatory on Farmingdale UFSD checks, and that a facsimile signature of the treasurer may be used in accordance with New York State Education Law 1720.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
I make a motion that Jean Buckley be appointed as Deputy Treasurer for the 2023-2024 school year at a salary of $67.05 per hour, and that she be authorized to be the signatory on Farmingdale UFSD checks in the absence of the treasurer, and that a facsimile signature of the Deputy Treasurer may be used in accordance with New York State Education Law 1720.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay. I make a motion that Rosemary Pearl be appointed as Claims Auditor at a salary of $10,108 for all Farmingdale UFSD funds for the 23-24 school year in accordance with Policy 6650, and to approve an agreement for audit services contingent upon a written contracts, or addenda reviewed and approved by the district's council, and to authorize the board president to sign the appropriate agreement.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. I make a motion that Ellen Carrigan be appointed as Deputy Claims Auditor for the 2023-2024 school year for all Farmingdale Union Free School District funds at a rate of $49.62 per hour.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Aye. Aye, I'm sorry.
Suzanne. Oh, you do that, don't you?
I don't see.
But don't you say it? Are you acting as that? You're acting as that?
Yeah, you can say that, yeah.
I'm sorry.
I know. that's-
The attorney will now administer the oath of office to the district clerk, assistant district clerk, district treasurer, deputy treasurer, claims auditor, and deputy claims auditor. Will these board officers please step forward? Then after the oaths are completed. Oh, sorry.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will uphold the Constitution of the United States and the state of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of, to the best of my ability. Congratulations.
Congratulations and thank you for your service to the Board of Education and to the district. There are a number of appointments and actions that will be acted upon in a consent agenda format. Each resolution will be included in the minutes and recorded separately. May I have a motion to approve the organizational meeting consent agenda?
I make a motion to approve the organizational meeting consent agenda items 4, 1 through 18, 5, 1 through 7, and 6, 1 through 15 to be approved as a whole with action recorded separately.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. May I have a motion to adjourn the organizational meeting?
I make a motion to adjourn the organizational meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. The organization meeting has now concluded. The special meeting will reconvene at 8 p.m. Okay, everybody's good? Okay, welcome to this evening's meeting of the Board of Education. As we move into the second portion of tonight's agenda, you are reminded that the Board of Education is interested in encouraging members of the public to share their ideas, comments, and questions. Public participation opportunities will be available at the beginning and the end of this meeting, and as stated in board policy, no person shall speak for more than 3 minutes, and each period of public participation will be limited to 30 minutes. If you have any questions or concerns regarding matters of the consent agenda through the items for discussion, items 1 through 5, it may be important for you to utilize the first public participation opportunity. You may also send your feedback and questions to us through our email account, boe@farmingdaleschools.org. Questions will be shared with members of the central administrative team who will respond in a timely fashion. During special meetings, it is the policy of the Board of Education that public participation is limited to topics on the agenda only. Thank you for your anticipated courtesy and cooperation. In the event of fire and/or if you hear the fire bell, you must leave the building. Please use the nearest exit, which is in the back of the room to the left. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Mr. Defendini, can we have your monthly update and your report on old business, please?
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Mr. Miko, members of the Board of Education. Very proud to share with the board. We had a really great end to the school year. The amount of opportunity that we had to celebrate, whether or not it was retirements or accomplishments, of our staff in the school district and our students, toward the end of the school year was really outstanding. And with thanks to the Board of Education again for your continued support and to all of the people inside of our school walls that make the magic happen every single day. Just thanks goes out to the entirety of our family for making that kind of magic happen. It really is special to watch all the things that happen in our schools during the year, but there's something very special about graduation and moving up when you have a chance to hand a kid a diploma after having put 13 years in to get to that place in their life. There's something very special about that. So thanks to your support and the work of this community, it really was a tremendous end to the school year. But with that comes new beginnings, right? It's great that we had a chance to finish the year wonderfully, but I learned a long time ago that you're only as good as your last game. So, what's the plan? And I look forward this summer to working with the Board of Education through a couple of different workshops that we'll have an opportunity to be a part of together as we look to plan for next year, lay out some of the goals that we have as a team, talk a little bit about what that thoughtfulness might be going into next year. Some of it was a part of the budget planning process, but some of it could be, new goals based upon things that transpired towards the end of the school year. So excited for the opportunity to plan together with the Board of Education for the 23-24 school year. And the last two items that I have is one, we just have a few new faces up here. Some of that was from, you got a chance to meet some of the new people that have joined the team. So first, starting on my right, Ms. Dawn Luisi, trustee of the Board of Education, new face. Congratulations, Dawn, for your appointment to this position. To my right, Michael Ferretti, joining us as Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources. Started his career here many, many years ago as a Daler, teaching here in one of our school, right here at Howard Middle School, moving over to the Copeg School District before coming back home. Daler through and through, and very proud to have you as part of this team, Mike. Congratulations. And last, not a new face, but a new title. Dr. Thompson stepping into a new role as our assistant to the superintendent for administration. Congratulations to Dr. Thompson. And the last piece that I have to share, again, just in brief, this summer is going to be busy not only from a planning standpoint as far as all of the things that we have in store for our students when they do arrive in September, but a lot of it is also based upon construction planning. And you may have noticed our parking lots at some of our schools are now looking a little different. We've been planning over the course of the last 3 to 5 years, multiple board conversations, press releases, budget talks were all centered around the work that you're now seeing, most notably at Farmingdale High School and at Woodward Parkway, although it is coming to all 6 schools over the course of the summer, you should see us breaking ground on a lot of our schools, are the carports, the solar carports. So that work is starting. We do expect to be much further along by the end of the summer. We'll continue to provide the board with updates as to how we move that work along. And the other notable change was one of the goals for the Board of Education was air conditioning projects, and those are also underway. Our auditoriums, one of the reasons we're here tonight is because our auditorium here at the middle school is closed down for renovations. We have air conditioning systems going into Howitt, Woodward Parkway, Salzman Memorial, and Farmingdale High School. So we should be able to open up school or near in the early fall, open up our schools and open up those auditoriums with fully air-conditioned systems, as well as some electrical upgrades so we can increase air conditioning capacity across the district, which is another one of our goals and the board's goals. And the last big reveal that we had, put it up on social media a little bit, but we'll definitely talk more about, is our weight room. Another conversation that we had with the board, our weight room was very dated. That work is open, and our students are actually getting a chance to use it. Summer workouts have started, and our students are already getting into that weight room area. So exciting times, a lot of construction going on, a lot of planning happening for next year, and we're excited to be a part of that work with the board this summer.
Thank you very much, Mr. Defendini. Does the board have any questions? Nope. Okay. I'd like to open the meeting for the first public participation. Please be sure to clearly state your name when you approach the microphone. As a reminder, public participation will be limited to 30 minutes. Each individual speaker will have 3 minutes in which to ask their questions or to make any statements. If we do not get to all of the speakers during the first 30 minutes, there will be an opportunity at the second public participation.
Hi, my name is Tom Alessandro. Address is on file. Hi, everybody. I want to wish everybody a happy belated 4th of July. Everyone hopefully spent some good time with the friends and family celebrating the birth of our nation. Just had a couple questions. There was a survey that went out to I believe, the parents of students to help decide how to allocate the $6 million of foundational aid that we received from New York as part of the 23-24 budget. Wanted to first understand, was that money not previously allocated in the original budget, or was it received after? And maybe that's why. My understanding is the way the budget was crafted, right, as you said, Mr. Defendini, it was carefully crafted to ensure that all of our goals were being properly met. Some of the choices that went out, the first one was to increase social emotional support for students. And again, I thought that was already kind of considered in the budget already, that we've put enough in the budget to satisfy that goal. Increase graduation rates and eliminate the achievement gap. Again, there's several long presentations that you provided that really what the main goal was to ensure that the budget was going to be there to ensure that the gaps were being addressed. I think a third one was to provide support for students who are not meeting or are at risk of not meeting state learning standards in core academic areas. Again, that to me, that's the same thing as like a learning gap. So I'm not sure how that gets differentiated. The fourth one was provide adequate resources to English language learners, students with disabilities, and students experiencing homelessness. Again, I would think that all those groups we've already contemplated inside the budget. So I guess the other question I wanted to know was, did this survey go out to only the parents of students, or did it go out to the entire community, since obviously it's all their money? And could that money be used to next year to reduce the taxes as opposed to just always raising them? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Alessandro. So to answer your questions, the $6 million was in the original budget that I did present throughout the spring. The state requires districts to send out that survey, and the categories that you all mentioned were provided by the state as the options of how we could spend that money. Yes, and you are correct. A lot of the meeting the needs of the students, the social emotional, the special education needs, the social emotional needs, all of that was in the design of the budget, and the survey results aligned directly with everything that everything that you just mentioned. So it is not additional money. It was part of the foundation aid that was included in the budget.
So just to understand it correctly, so that money wasn't previously put towards, so like I say, if it was being put towards taking care of a gap, that wasn't there beforehand, or are you saying it was
It,
allocated?
it was
Sorry.
part of the budget design. So all of those categories that you mentioned, yes,
Yeah,
intentionally were placed in those categories in terms of meeting the students where they are,
right.
to improve the reduce the achievement gaps, and for the special education needs.
Right.
It is all strategically designed mostly around services, BOCES type services, and instructional salaries.
To maybe just ask one more, a different way, so let's say we chose the first choice, right? Does that mean choices 2 and 3 will not be addressed through the budget? Does that make
No, I
sense?
mean, there was a focus, right, in the message that we delivered when we designed the budget, which was that we were going to meet certain needs. We were going towards a certain designation. We had certain needs that were being mandated that we needed to meet. So all of the budget was designed to meet those. It's not that those other categories are being ignored at all.
Okay.
We made sure that we at least maintained in all of those categories, but made it an effort to prioritize the other ones,
So,
specifically the ones that you mentioned. And
Right.
just to go back to your questions about who it was sent to, it was sent to the community in terms of all the parents and employees of the district. Over 75% of the respondents were parents. And the categories that were selected were the big 3 ones that you just mentioned.
So, but it didn't go to like all the taxpayers,
No.
right? Because this is all their money as well, right? That they should probably have a say in what's going on with this money as well. But so, I still don't really understand if the money wasn't allocated previously, is this just extra money towards a certain problem then? Like, so we had a budget, we had enough money for everything. Now we got $6 million, and now we're going to put it more towards 1 or 2 categories?
So let me
Yeah,
jump in, see if I
sorry.
can. Yeah, no problem. See if I can help out. And then for the second 3
Yeah, I
minutes,
was going to
3
say, I'm
minutes are up,
sorry,
yeah.
I don't want to interrupt
Yeah.
you. I know you have a lot of questions, but certainly come back for the second.
No, I'm sure there'll be a lot of
after
people
Mr.
asking
Deffinini.
questions after me.
Yep.
But I'll jump in at this point just to answer. Just no dialogue at this point. So I think the purpose of that is to survey the community to understand well enough. The money that we're talking about was already allocated. We knew that money was coming in back in January when the executive actually delivered her budget address. One of the requirements of the state is after you've put together your budget plan, it's an opportunity to check in with the community to see whether or not the things that we spent the money on were in concert with sort of what the community's expectations are, right? You kind of getting... do you have your finger on the pulse as far as some of the things that we're looking to spend the money on? That's what the purpose of the survey. It's a requirement of the state of New York to basically check in with the taxpayers when you receive a certain amount of additional state aid. When you go over that threshold, this is the last year that it's required, you have to go out to your community and do a quick survey just to poll them, get a feel. Are we sort of on par? Are we on target? We have to use that then in our response and in data that we provide back to the state to say, is this, and as long as we are, we're in good shape. We are in good shape, as Mike had indicated to you. The categories that we chose to spend the money on, not surprisingly, are congruent with what the expectations of the community are, and we're in a good place as far as being able to receive that money. But don't think of it in terms of it's extra money. It was a part of the state aid formula that was driven to us in January that we built around the budget, and we checked in with the community to make sure that the expectations of the community were met with the use of that additional funds that came from the state. But it's not money that's going back to the taxpayer.
Would anybody else like to come up and speak? Okay. I just need to go back. I believe part of old business was missed, Mr. Deffinini.
It was. Thank you very much. There was a communication, a comment that was made by one of our community members at the last meeting pertaining to security over at Farmingdale High School with regard to the vestibule and the check-in process. I did ask the building to reach out to the community member that had some of those questions. They were able to have, I think, a pretty good dialogue. A couple changes that are being made to the front of the building just to make sure that we're being as tight as we possibly can be. Part of it has to do with maybe moving or flip-flopping the location of the vestibule from one side to the other to create more space for drop-offs and things of that sort to make it a little bit more conducive to keep people in the vestibule area and not let them into the building. And the other part is just working out some of our own systems to make sure that there's less traffic in the building. Like, why would there be a need for parents to come into the building for this reason? We can do something else to keep them out of the building so that obviously the less people that are in the building, the better off we are, even when it does come down to parents, right? The less people that we can have walking around the halls, the better served our kids are in being safe. So we're going to make some changes based upon that conversation. Appreciate the dialogue, and we did emphasize that that person should certainly reach out to the building administration if they should have any concerns in the future to continue their dialogue. But I do believe it was a fruitful conversation.
Great, thank you very much. May I have a motion to approve the Board of Education minutes of the June 12th board meeting?
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the June 12th, 2023 regular meeting of the Board of Education.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. May I have a motion to approve the Board of Education minutes of the June 28th board meeting?
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the June 28th, 2023 special meeting of the Board of Education.
Second? Somebody have a second? Who second that? Dawn, you second that? Ms. Luisi, second that. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Mrs. Rogers, have we received any correspondence this month?
There was no correspondence this month.
Great, thank you very much, Mrs. Rogers. Does the board have any committee reports? Moving right along, okay. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda consisting of items 1A through H, 2A through I, and 3A through D to be approved as a whole with action recorded separately.
Mr. Goldberg?
Is that A through
It's
I?
A
or
through L.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I will say it again. I make a motion to approve the consent agenda consisting of items 1A through H, 2A through L, and 3A through D to be approved as a whole with action recorded separately.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Mr. Miko, if I might?
You may.
Okay, so thank you very much. So a few members of the audience might not know it, but that was your big moment right there. Kind of came and went with a lot of fanfare, but I did want to introduce the Board of Education to a few of our teachers who are here this evening to meet you for the first time. Emily Snow, give a wave. Special Education. Michelle Carroll. Jamie Thomas. Yasmin Lopez. Jessica Salenza. And Lisa Casaro. And I didn't miss anybody, right? Yes. Okay. Congratulations. Caitlin Whitaker. Yes. Caitlin Whitaker. Very nice for everybody to obviously take the time to come out tonight. Welcome to the Farmingdale family. We look forward to supporting your careers as you start with us here in Farmingdale Schools. I think you're going to find this to be a pretty special place, in the beginning of your career. And members of the Board of Education, welcome to, or introducing you to the new teachers for the upcoming 23-24 school year. Congratulations. You can go to Charlotte's for ice cream across the street if anyone wants.
It's 10% off, comes back to the district, right?
So I'm dating my
off
age
record.
right now. Where it's I know.
Well, welcome all of you to a wonderful, wonderful place here. Okay, can I have a motion to increase the school lunch and school breakfast prices?
I make a motion that the Farmingdale Union Free School District Board of Education authorize a 25-cent increase to the school lunch prices and the school breakfast prices effective September 1st, 2023.
Mr. Motisi?
Thank you, Mr. Miko. So the district has completed the required NYSED paid lunch equity tool in order to determine the appropriate meal prices for the upcoming school year. This tool factors in past and current meal prices as well as annual increases in the Consumer Price Index. As a result, it resulted in a 25-cent increase across the board for breakfast and lunch.
Great, thank you, Mr. Motisi. Does the board have any questions? No? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Can I have a motion to approve a lease purchase financing resolution and agreement for the Energy Performance Contract 2?
I make a motion to approve resolution item 4-2, approval of a lease purchase financing resolution and agreement for energy performance contract number 2.
Okay, this is a roll call vote. Mr. Motisi first.
Thank you, Mr. Miko. This resolution is for the lease purchase financing agreement in connection to the energy performance contract for the solar carports, which is currently underway.
Great. Does the board have any questions? No. All right. So this is a roll call vote. Please respond aye or nay as I read out your name. Michael Goldberg. Aye. Cherie Jones.
Aye.
Kathy Lively.
Aye.
Dawn Luisi.
Aye.
Myself, Suzanne D'Amico, is an aye. Motion carries. Dr. Thompson, will you please lead the discussion on the draft district-wide school safety plan?
Sure, thank you, Mrs. D'Amico. The draft district-wide safety plan is now available for comment. It's available to the community for the next 30 days. If there are any questions or comments, please contact me, the assistant to the superintendent for administration. My phone number is on the website, but I'll share that it's 516-434-5190 before August 23rd. If no changes come up during this draft 30-day period, the plan will be presented to the Board of Education for approval and adoption at the August 23rd Board of Ed meeting.
Thank you very much, Dr. Thompson. Does the board have any questions?
Just, we're going to be meeting for the safety committee as well during the school year after September, right?
Yes, there'll still be our monthly meetings for the district-wide safety committee.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. I'd like to now open the meeting for the second public participation. Once again, please be sure to clearly state your name and when you approach the microphone. As a reminder, public participation will be limited to 30 minutes. Each individual speaker will have 3 minutes in which to ask their questions or to make any statements. The district clerk will hold the timer for us. The meeting is now open.
Hi, Tom Alessandro, address is on file. I was going to congratulate all the teachers, but I guess the suggestion of getting ice cream probably really, they must like ice cream, so. Yeah, I do too. So just to kind of understand, if I'm trying to understand what you guys were trying to explain. Was the $6 million allocated previously, and then you were just sending the survey out with those questions because that's what the state said you had to do? So it was previously, because the way the question was sounded like it wasn't allocated, so it was a little misleading in that sense, and that's why I'm having trouble understanding where that came from. So you previously allocated that money specifically, and you were just asking the question, and okay. That helps to understand, because the question was not what that's different than what the question was. The other thing, you did say you surveyed the community, but then I also heard you only surveyed the parents of students. So was it the entire community, or was it just the parent? Which one was it?
So we have no ability to access the entire community without sending out a very expensive mailer, and the way of, obviously, a survey working electronically doesn't really make sense. We do make it available, but we realistically know that the parent link system that we have sends it to our parents. That's the way we get mass communication out. Likely, most of the people that are responding to the survey would have responded to it through the parent link blast, our staff included. The community was invited to participate, but the likelihood that they would be able to have access to it in the same capacity, because they don't provide us with their cell phone numbers for blast, we don't ask for it, obviously for obvious reasons, it usually just comes from the parents, even though others are welcome to participate in it.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. I got to say, I like the format of being able to look you guys in the eyes, and you guys doing the same. Usually we're way back in midway of the auditorium, and so this is nice. I wish everyone a happy summer, rest of the summer. Thank you.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you.
Would anybody else like to get up? Ask any questions? All right. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.